Hi, this is Steve and I'm with True Health, and I am out in the garden today, and today I want to talk about building a potato tower. So a friend of mine actually has built one, and he got about 20 pounds of potatoes just from a tower like this. So instead of putting them on the ground and slowly shoring up a little bit of dirt on top of the potatoes and maybe topping off as a hill about this big, you can keep putting on dirt as the potatoes grow. So I've got actually some right here that are actually in a row, and they're doing pretty good, but I want to do a comparison between how many potatoes I get out of this bed, and I'm actually not going to cheat on it. I'm going to actually put a bunch of dirt on it as the plants grow as well, but I want to see what actually produces a better crop of potatoes. So I'm probably only going to put about 5 or 6 plants in this tower that I'm going to be building, and I'm going to steadily add dirt over the course of time. So hopefully by the time fall comes, there's actually going to be potatoes at the very top of this. So it'll be really interesting to see what the layers will actually do. I'm going to put different types of soil as I go up the potato area and see if the potatoes grow better in one type of soil versus another type of soil. So please join me in this experiment. So I'm actually going to point it at where I'm going to start putting the dirt in and that type of thing, and go from there. Okay, so right here we have the fencing of the potato tower that I put up, and I would have to say it's probably about 2 feet by 2 feet by 2 feet, and then about 3 feet high. So I'm actually going to, well, I actually have put in some straw that's actually decomposing. So the cool thing is there's actually all kinds of mycelium growing on it. So if you don't know what that is, it's kind of like the structure of the mushroom plant that actually creates a web that goes like all through it. And there's also a lot of worms in here, and they look like red wriggler worms, and there's also some larger worms as well. So anyway, there's a lot of moisture in this outer straw, and that's gonna really probably feed the potatoes to make them grow really well. So I had some compost from last year that had a portion of dirt in it, and it also had some decent nutrients in it. And I figured that the straw that's decomposing will really create a good balance for it, and I'll be able to put in the potatoes, and then just as I go along, I'm going to keep putting this straw up to create a barrier so that the dirt doesn't fall out of this thing, but that the dirt stays in, and this becomes part of the dirt and part of the nutrients that's in here. So it'll be interesting to see how this works. So I'll have a part 2 of this video when it comes time to look at the potatoes and see how many potatoes I actually got from this experiment. So I'm going to start putting in the potatoes now. All right, so it looks like they have some pretty good stems on them, so these should actually work really well. So I'm going to show you up closely what these look like. So I could cut these apart and do it that way, but hey, I'm just going to put them in the way they are, and then give it some water, give it a little bit more compost and that type of thing, and then start our first layer. So I would say that probably every few weeks, maybe like every 2 weeks, I'm gonna add like another few inches on until I hopefully reach the top here and then harvest. So let's get started. Okay, so I'm gonna just put a little bit of water in here because the soil is like really dry. And then I'm gonna plant a few of these potatoes. I'm gonna plant probably about 7 to 8 potatoes in here. Might be kind of overcrowding it, but hey, why not? Alright, so I'm just gonna put them down into it. Okay, so we got the tomato tower right here. I mean, potato tower. Hey, similar family. And looking down in here, we have got around the outside perimeter and a few in the middle. So I'm going to cover these with dirt and compost and see what happens. And I would be using a hose. However, the hose decided to break. Been having bad luck with hoses this year. Some nice compost in here. Okay. So we got them all covered up here, and I'm just looking down here, and I'm gonna start shoring this up around the outside edges and probably get a little bit thinner on this right here as we go along. So that is pretty much the potato tower, and I'll be straightening out some of the edges to make it look a little bit cooler. And again, we'll see how many potatoes it produces. This is the one on the ground. I just put some dirt and compost on this, and these start to take off in just about a week, and they're starting to do pretty well. So far, no bugs on the plants. Looking pretty good. So let's see, it would be pretty wild if that potato tower actually produces about the same amount as these potatoes here. So I will be giving you an update soon. Okay, thanks so much for watching this video on the potato tower. And if you do like this video, please hit like and subscribe. And I can't wait to show you the finished product when this actually has as much potatoes as it can grow in this size container. I also might bring you to a friend's farm. His name is Russell, and he actually has one of these started a little bit before I did. So it'll be interesting to see how many potatoes he gets out of his. He actually weighed his last year, and he got 20 pounds out of one of these potato towers. So anyway, maybe I can kind of pit mine against his and see who actually grew more potatoes in their potato tower. That would be pretty cool. Anyway, thanks for joining me, and I will see you more in upcoming videos for True Health, and I hope you have an awesome day. I know it's awesome out here today. It's always a good day in the garden. See you soon.